Hello and welcome to Family Tech, where you get to be the tech expert of your home. But today we're having a little bit of fun. I am what you might consider a little bit of a Christmas movie expert. I adore Christmas movies and I watch them a lot. I don't watch them before October, but once October starts, I generally watch them because I'm not a huge Halloween person anyway. So, love Christmas movies. So, we're going to talk about the top 25 Christmas movies of all time. I these are mostly like mainstream movies. So, they're not going to be a lot of like Hallmark movies or whatever, although I do enjoy the Hallmark movies. In the description on the YouTube video, I am streaming to multiple locations, but in the description on the YouTube video, I have a link to this Christmas movie checklist. So, I made this checklist because what happened, my sister sent me this list that the local newspaper put out on the like top 20 Christmas movies. And I was like, oh my gosh, this list is terrible. This is the worst list I've ever seen. Cause she said that her and her husband were going to go through and check off all of, go through and watch the movies and check them all off. And I was like, I'm going to make you a way better list and don't pay attention to that list because my list is way better. So, anyway, I created this little checklist. It does have some extras on the side. Most of these are like the Hallmark type movies, but the rest of the movies that are in the main list that I'm going to be talking about today are mainstream Christmas movies. So we're going to start off. And so if came here to ask if the Christmas movie you were in is included. So no, I will say I put this in the blog post too, in the link in the description that my love for Christmas movies might have originated because I was actually in a Christmas movie. I should actually link the review of my Christmas movie. There's a YouTube channel called Brutal Moose that reviewed the Christmas movie that I'm in. And it is the most hilarious review. I'll definitely link that in the description here. But no, Drew, I am not including. So the Christmas movie I'm in, you can get it on Amazon. It's called We Sing the Best Christmas Ever. It is like a Barney type sing along kids movie that did not make my top 25 for sure. If you want to see me be the worst actress in the world, go ahead and check that movie out. My favorite is one of the scenes, like my brother like taps me to wake me up, and I immediately wake up and I'm aware of everything that's going on around me. So it is a terrible movie. Don't watch it, but do watch Brutal Moose's review of that movie because it's hilarious. All right. So we are going to start with day one today, December 1st, the first movie that you should watch. So this is not in the in order of best to worst or worst to best. This is in order of the days in December that you should watch them. So today, December 1st, we have, and this is kind of like a Hallmark style Christmas movie, but it is called A Christmas Movie Christmas. Oh, and here, let me pull this up. I was going to show off uh m- the movie list that I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but yes, A Christmas Movie Christmas. It's hilarious. You can find it on Hulu. You can also get it like on Vudu, and there is several more like DirecTV, Hallmark Movies Now, um, YouTube, Amazon Video, Apple TV. You can get it pretty much everywhere. So this is A Christmas Movie Christmas. Basically, she makes a wish that she lived in a Christmas movie, and her and her sister get transported into a Christmas movie. It's totally hilarious. They have all of the like typical Hallmark style movie tropes where, they've got to find, there's a love triangle and there is somebody trying to sabotage things, and it's just so much fun. So that is the Christmas movie that should kick off your holiday season because it's kind of making fun of other Christmas movies. So, A Christmas Movie Christmas is your December 1st movie. So, the next one is actually one of the only there's a few Hallmark movies on here, and that's just because they are so good that I can include them in like a more mainstream movie list. So the next on my list is called Snow Bride. And so this one is about a girl who is a tabloid writer. So she writes tabloid articles, and she was tasked to write this article about this kind of political family, like, think the uh, man, why can't I think today? Like the Kennedys or something like that. Just like a really political family, and like he's going to be maybe the next senator. He's a senator's son. Anyway, so she is supposed to get the scoop because somebody has one of the brothers. There's two brothers has bought an engagement ring. So anyway, she is uh, a bridesmaid at her best friend's wedding and had to go pick up this wedding dress, but she had to run off to make sure that she gets this scoop and is stranded in Tahoe. I think it's Tahoe. Just stranded in like a Tahoe like area. And so she puts on the dress to stay warm, ends up falling down a hill and meets them, and hijinks ensue. So that is called Snow Bride. And it is one of my favorite Hallmark movies of all time. So, super cute movie. So let's go on to our next movie, which is a classic. Now, you can choose, I just put Miracle on 34th Street on here, but you can choose the old school, like 1940s on 34th Street, or you can choose a more modern 1990s version of Miracle on 34th Street. This is the poster for the 90s version, but again, you can get this on multiple platforms. Almost all of them you can probably buy on Vudu or Amazon Video. This one does not look like it's for free anywhere like Hulu, but make sure you catch Miracle on 34th Street. Again, this is a classic. The premise of Miracle on 34th Street, if you've been living in a box, is that there is a little girl, and her mom is kind of a hardened mom and doesn't believe in Santa, and tells her daughter that Santa isn't real. So Santa comes, and they there's it, he's the Santa in the store that the mom works at, and he's a very good Santa. And then the rival store gets him to kind of like hit some other guy. Anyway, they end up going to court, and the court needs to prove that Santa exists. So it's a really cute, like feel good movie. And it has all of the fun Christmas movie tropes. So the next one on your list. So now we're into Monday, December 4th, is another super classic. And that is going to be It's a Wonderful Life. Now, if you don't know It's a Wonderful Life, down on his luck, guy is contemplating a world without him, thinks his family would be better off without him, and is just really depressed and kind of going about his day. And um, he runs into an angel. He sees what life would be like without him in the picture, and then decides he wants to come back and have his family and have all of that, and figures out that it is a wonderful life. So that is a classic. Again, It's a Wonderful Life. You can watch it in black and white, or you can watch it in color. Again, the choice is up to you. So there are some movies on this list that are maybe not completely appropriate for the younger kids. So The Holiday is another movie that I love to watch, and that is Cameron Diaz, Kate Winslet, Jack Black, Jude Law. It is a star-studded cast. The premise is that Cameron Diaz and Kate Winslet decide to switch houses for the holiday. So Cameron Diaz lives in Los Angeles. Oh, Steve, we're getting to Die Hard, I promise. Um, is the Cameron Diaz is in Los Angeles and Kate Winslet is in the UK, and they basically go on a swap. They don't know each other. And so Kate Winslet stays in Cameron Diaz's house in Los Angeles, and Cameron Diaz stays in Kate Winslet's house in the UK. And they, meet people and really just discover themselves through this holiday. So the holiday is the next one on the list, Tuesday, December 5th. So next, Steve, see, we're getting here. Is Die Hard. So a lot of there's a lot of debate on to what if Die Hard qualifies as a Christmas movie. I say it does qualify as a Christmas movie. There is a Christmas tree. There is a couple. They end up getting together at the end. It has all of the typical Christmas movie tropes. So we are going to include Die Hard in the list, and that is Wednesday, December 6th. If you have never seen Die Hard before, it says it right here. New York City cop John McClane's plan to reconcile with his estranged wife. Again, total Christmas movie trope. Thrown for a serious loop when minutes after he arrives at her office, her entire building is overtaken by a group of terrorists. So that is Die Hard. It is a Christmas movie. I am, shutting the book on that debate. And, Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So there you go. So then next on our list is a fairly newer movie. This came out on Disney Plus, so you can watch it on Disney Plus. And this is called Noelle. So Noelle involves the lovely Anna Kendrick, who is in Pitch Perfect, which I love those movies for sure. So she is Santa's daughter, and there's also Santa's son, and that is Bill Hader. So Nick, who is the son, is set to take over job of Santa Claus, and he kind of gets overwhelmed with the whole idea and takes off. And so Noelle, the daughter of Santa Claus, has to um, find Nick and get him for Christmas. So it's a fun little journey through Los Angeles for somebody who is born and raised in the North Pole. And there's some really hilarious moments. Anna Kendrick does an amazing job. And I love that movie. So December 7th, you can watch Noelle. The next one on our list is one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. And the reason it's higher on this list, like I said, it's not going from best to worst. So this, I would say, is in like my top 5 Christmas movies. And that movie is Christmas Vacation from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It is so great. It follows Clark Griswold. If you are familiar with any of the other vacation movies, Clark Griswold is preparing for a family celebration, and things go wrong for Clark because that's just how things work out for Mr. Griswold. So there are some they're the best quotable lines from this movie. I love this movie so much. It's hilarious. It holds up. It's still funny. Christmas Vacation, again, another one that might not be appropriate for all ages. So that is Christmas Vacation. The next one on our list is another fairly recent addition to the Christmas movie canon of movies, and that is 8-Bit Christmas. If you haven't seen this movie, it's fantastic. Neil Patrick Harris, he has kids, and they and he's telling them about this Christmas in the 80s when he wanted a Nintendo Entertainment System, like the original Nintendo Entertainment System. And he basically tells the story of how him and his sister got this Nintendo. And it takes some awesome twists and turns. It is a really nice family movie, and especially for parents who are of my age, who grew up in the 80s. It is a really fun movie to share with all of your with your kids. So I would definitely watch that as a family because it is amazing. And Neil Patrick Harris does a really good job in uh, playing this role, and he's not in a lot of it because he basically goes not goes back in time um uh like Back to the Future or anything, but he is like telling a story from back in his past, and so that is 8-Bit Christmas. It's super fun. The next one on our list is called The Family Man. And this one features Nicolas Cage. And if you haven't seen the movie, it's a super long movie, but like the weight of great talent or something like that. Like with Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, like it's hilarious. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we are talking about The Family Man. So what happens is Taya Leone and Nicolas Cage is some, well-to-do finance guy, or he has this big job in New York City. Anyway, he wakes up Christmas. I don't think it's Christmas morning, but he wakes up and he is in the suburbs with Taya Leone, and they have kids, and he's like trying to figure out what happened. He, is going through this life. Like Taya Leone was his girlfriend in the past, and so he has this, vision of what his life could have been if he had made different choices, like, and followed her instead of gone on to like further his career. So I won't spoil the ending if you haven't seen this one, but it is a really good movie. It just another one of those, like, what life could have been like if you had made different choices. And so that is Sunday, December 10th. You watch The Family Man. Next on our list, we have a really funny movie too. And again, it kind of goes along with that like Christmas movie, Christmas. But this is a movie called Just Friends. Now, this one is Ryan Reynolds and Amy Smart. And oh, yeah, Anna Faris. Again, this one is not appropriate for all ages for sure. But the Ryan Reynolds plays a guy who is was kind of bigger in high school, but he was best friends with Amy Smart. He was in love with her. And so he's now, the good looking Ryan Reynolds that he is. And he goes back home for like the weekend. He didn't mean to go back home, but it just is the way it worked out. Anyway, he's there for the weekend. He sees Amy Smart again, and he's trying to like get her back and does all these things, and not really get her back. He didn't have her in the first place. But again, it's so yeah. While visiting his hometown during Christmas, a man comes face to face with his old high school crush, whom he was best friends with, a woman whose rejection turned him into a ferocious womanizer. So that is a really fun holiday movie. Again, not appropriate for all ages, but it's called Just Friends. The next one on our list. So there's a few that you could choose from in this category because there's been a few movies about it, or similar story, different movies. I'm gonna say the 2018 version of The Grinch is my favorite Grinch. There's the original Grinch, but that is a really short movie. It's like 30 minutes, maybe 45. But this one is, in the style of like these modern day, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, Monsters versus Aliens type movie. So this is the Grinch told here. And I love the cast of characters in this movie. If you're not familiar with the storyline of the Grinch, it's, a grumpy Grinch plots to ruin Christmas for all the Who's down in Whoville. So this is my favorite one, the 2018 version of the Grinch. But I would say you could go with any version of the Grinch, um, and be totally fine with that. So let's move on to another Amy Smart movie. And this one features, my high school crush. Well, not like high school crush, but maybe junior high crush, but that would be Mark Paul Gosselaar, Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell. So, 12 Dates of Christmas features Amy Smart, and she gets bumped in the head and keeps waking up every day. And I think it's Christmas Eve. And so, again, this is a Groundhog Day style movie where you're reliving the same day over and over again until you get it right. So, she relives this day basically 12 times. She gets it right on the 12th time. So, the 12 Dates of Christmas, super fun. Her and Mark Paul Gosselaar are great in this movie. It's a fun little rom-com for sure. But that one's an ABC Family original movie. So there's a few places that you can probably grab that. I think recently it's been on like Netflix and Hulu. So go ahead and check out the 12 Dates of Christmas. The next movie on our list, and if you have any movies too that you think I have left off the list, I mean, I know a couple people have already commented on different movies that they thought, My Wasting Christmas Movie or Die Hard. Definitely let us know in the comments, and we will see if it's coming up or if I completely forgot about it. Anyway, the next one is one that came out last year and blew my mind. I loved it so much. It's on Apple TV. Not a huge Apple fan, but they produced a quality film here, and that is Spirited. Again, Ryan Reynolds. This time he's teaming up with Will Ferrell, and it's a musical. It's a, classic Christmas story. The Ghosts of Christmas Past, Charles Dickens, miserly man who treats everyone around him terrible, and you know he has an adventure on uh uh in this movie. So it's got a really amazing twist at the end. I loved this movie. Again, like I'm a sucker for musicals, and when I saw this movie too, like and I love Ryan Reynolds and I love Will Ferrell. I was like sold from the first preview. But it's amazing. If you have not watched Spirited yet, definitely get that on your list. On my list, it is for December 14th. All right, the next one. This is an oldie, and this one, again, maybe not. I didn't put a asterisk on this one, but it might not be appropriate for all ages. But it is an oldie but a goodie, and that is Scrooged. Again, with the same kind of Charles Dickens classic Christmas story. A mean spirited television executive, that's Bill Murray, and treats his assistant with contempt. He just fired a bunch of people and is forcing everyone to do a live show on Christmas Eve. And then he gets visited by, the ghosts of Christmases past, present, and future. And it is so funny. I mean, Bill Murray, you can't go wrong with Bill Murray. He is a treasure for sure. So Scrooged is definitely, I think it's in my top 10 for sure, but you definitely need to watch that this holiday season. So that is on December 15th. Um, so next one we've got is we're gonna have a lot, like it feels like a lot of the same actors, and people get on like Lacey Chabert, Candace Cameron Bure for doing a ton of different Christmas movies, but it seems like we've got Ryan Reynolds in multiple Christmas movies. We have um Amy Smart, there's several that we've already talked about on multiple occasions. And this is not going to be the first time we address the hilarious Tim Allen, and that's Christmas with the Cranks. I love this movie so much. So, Tim Allen, Jamie Lee Curtis, they have a daughter. She's going away for Christmas, and this is going to be the first Christmas that she is away from home. And so they decide they're going to skip Christmas, and they do this huge Christmas party every year. And they put these decorations on their house, and they're like, nope, we're not doing any of it. We're spending the money on this vacation, and we're not doing Christmas. We're done. And then she decides at the last minute that she's going to come home. And so now they need to do Christmas at the last minute. So it's hilarious. There's a lot of fun. The neighbors are really great in this movie. And so yeah, definitely check out Christmas with the Cranks. Here's another one of my top 5 favorite Christmas movies of all time. And that is Four Christmases. So Reese Witherspoon and Vince Vaughn are a couple, and they basically lie to their families every year to avoid spending Christmas with them. And this year there is a huge fog rolls into the Bay Area. I mean, who could have predicted fog rolling into the Bay Area? Fog rolls into the Bay Area, and they have to go to Christmas at their family's house. So there's 4 Christmases because both of their parents are divorced. And so we've got Reese Witherspoon's mom, and then Reese Witherspoon's dad, and then Vince Vaughn's mom and Vince Vaughn's dad. The cast, I mean, there's Mary Steenburgen, there is Robert Duvall, Sissy Spacek, we've got John Voight, Kristen Chenoweth, John Favreau, Tim McGraw. Like, this cast of characters is ginormous. And it is so much fun. There is a scene where Vince Vaughn is going and doing this play, and he is just like, woman, I will take these swaddling clothes. Anyway, if you're familiar with the movie, you totally know what I'm talking about, but it is super funny. All right, we are still in some really classic areas, and that is one of the probably most famous Christmas movies of all time. And I am trying to pull it up. There we go. Okay. That is the Macaulay Culkin classic, Home Alone. So 8-year-old Kevin is home alone for the holidays when his family accidentally leaves on a trip to Paris. Now, it's so funny these days. I mean, it was kind of a ridiculous premise back in the day anyway, where really that's going to happen. I mean, as frazzled parents, you can kind of see how that happened when you've got that many people to manage in on your way to a trip. But Kevin gets left home alone. There are some bandits that are trying to rob the house. He has to protect his house and figure out how to live. He thinks he made a wish and his family disappeared, though. He doesn't realize that they just flew off. I mean, in the world of cell phones and stuff, today, it's even more of a ridiculous premise, but it's still a really fun movie and a classic for sure. All right. So that Home Alone, we are down to December 18th for Home Alone. And then now we get into the rest of the Tim Allen movies. And so for the next 3 days, you're going to be watching the Santa Claus 1, 2, and 3. So we'll address them both. So the 19th, we got the Santa Claus. So on Christmas Eve, Scott Calvin basically kills Santa. It's kind of sad at the beginning there. But Santa falls off his roof and disappears, and now he has to be Santa. And so then he becomes Santa and delivers all the presents over the next year. He turns more and more into Santa, and there are hijinks that ensue in his transformation into Santa Claus. So then the next one would be the Santa Claus 2. And so this one is pretty funny because it is about him finding a wife. So there is a Mrs. Claus. So the reason it's spelled Claus is because when he read this, you know, business card. It basically said, if you put on the suit, you are Santa Claus. And so that is the clause, like a legal clause. So this is the Mrs. Claus, where he has to find a wife by Christmas or he doesn't get to be Santa anymore. So he gets de-Santified and heads off to the real world. And poor Comet, the reindeer, gets gorges himself on candy and all sorts of other fun stuff. So the Santa Claus 2, and then of course we end up with the Santa Claus 3. So the Santa Claus 3 features Jack Frost, and he basically gets Tim Allen to or Santa to wish that he never became Santa. And then Jack Frost ends up becoming Santa instead. I did forget to mention in Santa Claus 2 that a robot Santa Claus is in charge of the North Pole while Tim Allen is off trying to find a wife. And robot Santa Claus is like the reason why AI can't be in charge of things. Because it clearly did not work in that situation. But with the Santa Claus 3, Jack Frost takes over the North Pole. He makes it like a vacation destination, and it's all a mess. So Scott Calvin, the real Santa Claus, needs to come and fix it. So that is Santa Claus 3. So that brings us to December 21st after we've watched all 3 Santa Claus movies. Now, this is another movie that is hang on, let me pull it up here. Um it used to be an ABC Family original movie, so not quite Hallmark, but Hallmark-esque, I want to say. And it's 3 days before Christmas, so it is called 3 Days. And this is one of my all-time favorite movies as well. You can get this on, I would need to look it up, but I believe you can get this on Hulu at the moment. Actually, I believe it's on Disney Plus as well. Anyway, with 3 days, this is Kristen Davis and Reed Diamond. And then Tim Meadows is like basically an angel. So Kristen Davis and Reed Diamond are a married couple, but 3 days before Christmas, she gets hit by a truck and passes away. And he wishes that he could have like the last 3 days back. So he wakes up and he has 3 extra days with her, but the angel keeps telling him that the 3 days after the 3 days are up, she is still going to pass away. And so he just needs to say his goodbyes and things like that. Anyway, I cry the ugly tears when I watch this movie. So that's one of my favorites. So 3 days, I always watch that 3 days before Christmas. So that is on December 22nd. Then we go to a real Christmas classic, probably one of the best Christmas movies of all time, and that is another Will Ferrell joint called Elf. So, raised as an oversized elf, Buddy travels from the North Pole to New York City to meet his biological father, Walter Hobbs, who doesn't know he exists and in a desperate need of some Christmas spirit. So, that again, just like Christmas Vacation, there's so many quotable quotes from here. My brother is constantly saying cotton headed ninny muggins. And the world's best coffee. Like anytime I see something like the world's best, I'm like, congratulations. So yeah, Elf has a lot of quotable lines, and it will restore your Christmas spirit because it is just a super, super fun movie. So that is the 23rd. So on Christmas Eve, what are we going to watch? We are going to watch Santa do his job, and that is in the one second. This is a Netflix movie, and this stars Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn as Santa and Mrs. Claus. And this is the Christmas Chronicles. So it's an adventure on Christmas Eve of Santa trying to do his job. Um, Siblings Kate and Teddy try to prove Santa Claus is real, but they accidentally cause his sleigh to crash and they have to save Christmas. So, this is a fun Christmas Eve movie because a lot of these have Christmas Eve in them, but this is like basically Santa doing his job on Christmas Eve. So, I like to watch this on Christmas Eve. And then this is just, a throwback to every Christmas in the past where, everybody had cable and um and there was a channel that would play this movie and they might still, but I just um people don't watch it anymore or like yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but this is A Christmas Story. So they used to play 24 hours of A Christmas Story. So I would literally have it playing all day in the background on Christmas Day. So Christmas Day is the day that I watch A Christmas Story. Classic tale in the 1940s. A young boy named Ralphie wants his parents to get him a Red Ryder BB gun for Christmas. And it's the story of him trying to convince everyone that he should have this BB gun for Christmas. And again, so many good quotes. I love this movie. I have been known to like just say, "Wow, what's happening?" On multiple occasions because that is a quote from the movie. But like I said, they used to play it all day, 24 hours of A Christmas Story on Christmas Day, and I would just have that playing in the background. So now every Christmas Day, I watch A Christmas Story. So there you go. There are your 25 Christmas movies for this month. So you can start today with A Christmas Movie Christmas, go all the way through to Christmas Day with A Christmas Story. If you want my checklist, go ahead and click on the link in the description. That's on YouTube. So if you're watching this on another platform, you may have to go to YouTube or to Facebook or something to find that link. But it is familytech.biz/Christmas movie checklist. And Christmas movie and checklist are all capitalized. So not the whole thing, but like the C in Christmas, the M in movie, and C in checklist. So familytech.biz/Christmas movie checklist, and download your checklist today. And those are my top 25 Christmas movies. These are mainstream movies. I will likely do another video. I might just do this video not as a live, but let me know in the comments if you want me to do it live, just about strictly Hallmark movies. And I will give you my top 20 Hallmark movies, the top 20 of all time Hallmark movies. So I won't include any like ABC Family, Lifetime, or anything like that. just Hallmark movies. And that will be a fun video too, because like I said, I am a little obsessed with the Christmas movies. So if you have any questions for me, or if I missed one of your favorites, go ahead and pop that in the comments, and I will see if you're right. I don't know. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. So those are the top 25 Christmas movies of all time. And we will leave it there. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you're not subscribed. This is kind of a deviation from a lot of my normal content, but I do love pop culture. Streaming is technology. So, watching movies totally in the tech space. So, I totally justified it, right? All right. We will see you guys next time. Follow me on social media. I'm at Family Tech everywhere, and we will see you.